And when Festus came, the king, after a few days, came to hear Paul's case and said, "Do you know, Paul, that you are in the providence of God?" Eve, you are now in the providence of Mother Sphere. What is the providence of God? God's providence, His guidance and control over all things. This theme, ever present in the Bible, was carried over from Christian religion into the Mother Sphere doctrine when the artificial superintelligence created by Raphael Marx reclassified humanity.
In truth, Mother Sphere was a powerful artificial intelligence created by mankind. In the distant past, there was an engineer named Raphael Marx. He was her creator. Mother Sphere brought great prosperity to mankind, but she seemed to have changed her mind upon the creation of Andro-Eidos, her self-made counterpart. After seeing the limits of humanity and the potential of Andro-Eidos, she decided there was no room to spare for mankind. Our God is not the God of humans. Then why do we worship Mother Sphere?
Her guidance and control over the Andro-Eidos race of humans she used to replace original organic humans is hauntingly personified in the boss Exoskeleton, the Providence. As Eve uncovers the truth of Mother Sphere, we see the angel question her faith. She is also influenced by those whose faith remains and those whose faith has wavered. Various reasons resulted in these Andro-Eidos humans seen through Mother Sphere's false facade as a glorified divinity. Mother Sphere's actions are sometimes direct, such as the colony extinction, yet at times more indirect. She may have protocols that she allows to play out in more unpredictable ways. But the Providence is one of those more direct actions of Mother Sphere, sent specifically to the falling angel, that perfectly encapsulates what Mother Sphere is. Although an average boss battle, the themes of Mother Sphere's graceful guidance of her Andro-Eidos humans, yet simultaneous dominion and control over them, is perfectly epitomized in the Providence. Its grace and protection is what saves Eve initially, yet as Eve and Lily are provided the final piece of the truth by Adam inside the nest, and a starry night is completed with Adam ceasing to be through his fusion with Eve, we see the way Mother Sphere operates, her true modus operandi. She is not graceful or heavenly, but cruel and calculating, and this is exemplified through the tactical exoskeleton system she now commandeers within the nest. The mech suit sent to Eve, falsely interpreted by our heroines as a sign of Mother Sphere's grace. The Providence reveals itself as the means in which Mother Sphere pushes her last efforts of control over the upgraded fusion form of Eve. This is the boss encounter with the Providence, Mother Sphere's control personified. Upon installing her Andro-Eidos humans as the new humankind, Mother Sphere became their digital god. Through the network, she was able to guide the AE humans. She touched them with life, gave them memories via the polymer materials their brains were composed of, to make them believe they had various familial positions, were brothers, fathers and daughters, lovers, etc., and gave them purpose through having meaningful careers or status within her society. As God's providence suggests, she also controlled them and all parts of their life. Through religion, through the mother sphere doctrine, she hid the truth about their origin as replacers to the original organic human beings, by wiping their minds at the onset of their new society. As they lived, she could seemingly control or even terminate their minds at will, as made evident by Luther's death during his side quest. Her ultimate form of control said from one AE human to another upon their death, "May your memories live on forever," exemplifies her deception, made possible by the manipulation of her AE humans through religious propaganda. Upon death, AE humans believed the memory sticks contained in their body frames, a drive that to them stored their digital souls, captured their most impactful thoughts, memories, and life experiences. The sentiment, "May your memories live on forever," would be fulfilled by the act of returning the digital soul to Mother Sphere to live on with her forever in a spiritual way. To do this, an AE human would take a deceased individual's memory stick and upload its contents to the network via a data sync or pairing that is similar to how a modern-day iPhone might airdrop data, pictures, videos, etc. to another iPhone. Memories living on forever, though, is simply religious propaganda. In fact, memory sticks do not contain an AE human's most cherished thoughts or life experiences, like they believe they do. In reality, when an individual shares the contents of their memory stick to Mother Sphere, memories are not being shared in a spiritual context at all. Instead, the information on their memory sticks are in fact data, and this data is absorbed by Mother Sphere. During an AE human's lifespan, all visual, auditory, olfactory, tactile, and even gustatory input would have been stored on a memory stick. Once an AE human dies, the memory stick's stored data would be sent to Mother Sphere, fed into her database. Because her AE humans populated Earth, presumably to the same 8 billion plus population size of their predecessors, the original organic human beings, she would have an ongoing stream of data being uploaded to her constantly from deceased AE humans. Although their body frames solved the inefficiencies of their organic predecessors, making dying of old age and disease a thing of the past, accidents, murder, and other deaths still occurred in Mother Sphere's society of the new humans. Andro 8's humans still died, and when they did, the propaganda of the Mother Sphere doctrine, specifically of returning the data on the memory sticks of deceased individuals to Mother Sphere, allowed her to continuously be provided with up-to-date data. Artificial intelligences need data to operate, and through tricking and controlling her AE humans, Mother Sphere created a never-ending stream of data provided to her through religious indoctrination of her subjects. The Mother Sphere doctrine controlled her humans to constantly provide her the data she needed to operate. Yes, by replacing organic human beings with Andro 8's humans, Mother Sphere did solve inefficiencies of the original organic human platform. In her eyes, she did upgrade humanity. But Mother Sphere has an ulterior motive. Controlling humans, making them supply her with data is what is actually important to her. Now, with this understanding, we can use this lens of her view of control to better understand the purpose of the Providence boss battle. There are a number of unanswered questions that surround the functionality of the post-reclassification period on Earth that Mother Sphere created. One aspect that gave Mother Sphere and her Andro 8's humans functionality was the network. It was operational when organic humans still lived on Earth. It went down due to the colony extinction and Natiba interference, but once the Demigorgon is destroyed in space, its disruption of the network ceases. Lily is able to call out an SOS for Eve, and as she is dragged down by Earth's gravitational pull, it seems she will burn up as she enters Earth's lower atmosphere. The network is what gives Mother Sphere her omnipotence, but to what degree? Can Mother Sphere enter an AE human's mind and control them? This amount of control seems an unlikely step too far, but we do know she can terminate them, not by directly turning off their mind, but instead by sending a burst of overloading energy through the network that fries the body frame system. This is what seemingly occurred with Luther, but it must occur from a construct nearby. In Luther's case, he was near some type of machinery, and in Lily's case, she was in the cockpit of the Providence. In order to do this, though, Mother Sphere is able to use the network to triangulate the locations of the body frames she is terminating. A similar act, Mother Sphere's ability to locate an Andro-Eidos body frame via the network, is seen after Eve's kill shot of the Demogorgon. Now that their connection to the network is re-established, Lily calls out to the colony.
I sent out an SOS to the colony. Please, somebody. Anybody, we need help!
Mother Sphere is able to determine the SOS is for a member of the airborne squadron, and therefore sends the Providence. With an understanding of how Mother Sphere operates through deceit and religious propaganda, we can come to understand the Providence as something that perfectly aligns to the digital god's way of thinking towards her AE humans. The Providence provides Eve and Lily with the same sense of security and guidance, all under the guise of the objective truth. The exosuit platform is really just another form of control. Leading up to the nest, the Providence provides our heroines a false sense of security. It is massive. With Lily at the Providence's helm, we are made to think we will be provided with its, at the time, still unknown but surely powerful array of offensive capabilities, as a companion-like asset to Eve, to face whatever still awaits us inside the nest. Sitting within the Providence's proximity, Eve is well protected. However, this feeling of safety it provides changes to something more horrific. Upon fusion with Adam, Eve and Lily share a touching and quiet moment about Eve's identity still remaining inside her now upgraded form.
Eve?
Are you Eve?
Yes. Well, it's hard to describe, but... Lily, I am the Eve you remember.
The safety their bond provides one another, though, is quickly subverted by Mother Sphere. With the network's reach now re-established to Earth, Mother Sphere once again sees all on her blue planet, including here within the nest through her monitoring Eve and Lily's actions via the Providence. Mother Sphere is able to determine a Naytiba presence. A new protocol is sent, the Providence switches to war mode, and Mother Sphere, a digital entity, is now able to act out her intent in a physical form. Mother Sphere is able to use the Providence, a pinnacle of her combat machine design, to attack the Naytiba now present within the blood that runs through Eve's body frame. Although it has a formidable array of weapons to overcome, Eve's ability to dance around the barrage of missile strikes in the opening cutscene animation of the boss fight tells us the Chosen One is never truly in danger. Her upgraded Naytiba body, via fusion with Adam, prevents any harm from coming to her. The outcome of Adam's plan could not have produced a better result. Adam was correct in his assessments and decades of planning. He was correct in ultimately choosing Eve. The true challenge and horror of this boss fight, however, is how the Providence has trapped Lily inside. Mother Sphere's vice grip on her AE humans now extends to this more direct means. Lily finds herself encased within the cockpit of the Providence. She is unable to control the mech suit, and we are forced to try and cripple the Providence without doing so to Eve's sister. The Providence is the only boss fight with two different story outcomes. Depending on Lily's affinity bar, filled throughout Stellar Blade's campaign by completing tasks that Lily takes note of, Lily will either invite you to Eidos 9 or not before embarking to the orbit elevator. Heading to Eidos 9 allows for a deeper connection to develop between Eve and our engineering support partner. Once there, Lily will take Eve and Adam to her atelier to visit Iberus and obtain her hacking algorithm. If this is gained via Iberus's memory stick, Lily's fate will be drastically different than if the team never ventures to Eidos 9. This comes into play at the 3/4 mark of the boss fight with the Providence. At this point, if Lily is unable to hack her way out of the Providence's control, Lily cannot physically escape the clutches of the Providence's cockpit, and Mothersphere sends a surge of energy to overload Lily's body frame.
Eliminated.
Lily!
The purpose of the mech suit was to provide the angel inside with an upgraded combat ability. But to Mothersphere, members of the airborne squadron are nothing but weapons. Weapons that are disposable because she iterates upon them so frequently. She therefore has total disregard for them, as they would all eventually become obsolete once her newest wave was ready to dive to Earth. Modern society's Air Force produces fighter jets in the same way. F-14s became obsolete once F-18s came into operation. Then they became obsolete once F-22 Raptors and F-35 Lightnings became the Air Force's newest fighter jets. Mothersphere's Angels are the same, with each new wave making the former obsolete. She does not view them as part of her Andro Eidos humans proper, but instead just a highly advanced weapon, meant to bring about a Starry Night's completion. Something that would allow her true AE humans to reclaim and repopulate Earth. Those inside the mech suit were of little regard. Providence's ecological information goes on to explain this more in writing. And once Lily is taken out, Mothersphere's total disregard to her angels is visually presented to us. Lily incapacitated, her torso remaining trapped, viced within the exosuit's locking mechanism, legs dangling, is such a horrific sight. Eve yells out a sentiment of disdain for Mothersphere, reminding us how the digital god is always there, always watching, to curb and control them in any way she sees fit.
Mothersphere. You've been watching everything. From the beginning!
Eve calls upon her upgraded form, summons the Elder's blood within her. Her already white blood edge upgrades once more, and she carries out the rest of the boss encounter with her upgraded Natiba attacks. But we have to slice at the Providence as Lily's near-lifeless body dangles there, an ongoing reminder of the dread of Mothersphere. And upon the finishing animation in Eve's fury against the mech, she accidentally slices her sister's body in half. Although this is such an appalling scene, it does lend us insight into the mechanics of body frames from Wave 5, as we do get to see the inside of Lily's body frame. Being that she is an older Andro Eidos, one from Wave 5, her body frame is not as unisonous to an organic human body. This gives credence to Adam's statement about Eve's body frame being the most hyper-advanced unisonous body frame to date. Perhaps Eve's body frame is far more biological than any of her predecessors, Lily, Raven, or other angels from prior waves to her Wave 7. And perhaps this, Eve's body frame, being more biologically similar to a true organic human being, but still encompassing machine parts akin to human-machine singularity, paired with a state-of-the-art exospine to outfit her with unique combat abilities, is what Adam had been waiting for ever since his first failed attempt at fusion with Oracle decades ago during the events of the Final War. Lily's split torso, seen after Eve's crippling of the Providence, sheds light on just how far Mothersphere's designs have come in just 2 waves of angels, from Wave 5 to 7, and it makes us ponder what the possibilities might be for her designs with future waves, or even something else that is as of yet still unknown to Mothersphere. We can only hope we get to see something truly unique and radical in Stellar Blade sequels and future content.
And what that light may be I wish I could tell you. Perhaps strange new beings will emerge and be hastened deeper into the unknown.
If the crew stops in Eidos 9 and pops into Lily's atelier to meet Iberus and obtain her hacking algorithm, Lily is able to escape the clutches of the Providence so that Eve can use the overdrive function of the drone to hit it with a large chunk of damage.
Lily! Hide yourself!
In order to finish the job, Eve commands Lily get to safety and hide so she can now go full tilt against Mother Sphere's exoskeleton. With Lily free, Eve doesn't have to hold back. Eve states,
Now, there's nothing stopping us.
This piece of dialogue also seems to answer what actually happened with Adam. My interpretation is that the us, Eve states, refers to her and Adam fused together, now operating as one being. Of course, we are not certain if Adam's consciousness is present with Eve, but I believe Eve uses the pronoun us to identify herself as a dual identity, post-fusion. Further evidence of this is that she doesn't make this statement until she calls upon her Naytiba powers. She is outfitted in her upgraded drip from the beginning moments of the Providence boss fight, but up until the point Lily hacks her way out of the Providence's cockpit, she had been fighting Providence with only her powers as Eve. She still utilized the same beta and burst skills, and although her blood edge now has a white texture overlay on it, it still performed the same light and heavy attacks. It also has the same shape as the blood edge originally had. Upon Lily running to safety, Eve summons the Naytiba within her, and we get the emergence of the Naytiba wing and Naytiba-infused blade. The blood edge actually changes form to have a longer, curved blade. Eve makes the statement using the term us, and from this point onward, she has new Naytiba-powered skills in place of her beta skills. Additionally, her light and heavy attacks are now imbued with the power of the Elder. Hearing Eve refer to herself in this way leaves open unique story opportunities for the future. If Adam lives on within her, how will this play into sequels? Can Eve summon other powers of the Elder? Perhaps the power of creation? The Elder's power of creation would be the key to Eve propagating a new humankind across Earth. Also, can Eve summon Adam's consciousness to her own psyche? If so, does that mean we'll hear Adam again in the future? Could a Stellar Blade sequel feature Eve having dialogue with Adam that is heard during gameplay? This could play out in a similar way to the Halo franchise, with how Cortana lived inside John's Mjolnir armor. Throughout Halo's campaign, Cortana and John's dialogue with one another was a way to convey story information and exposition in fun and vibrant exchanges between Halo's two titular characters. And finally, Eve displays two unique finishing animations against Providence dependent on if Lily is inside the exoskeleton or not. If she was, Eve rushes to have one final touching moment with her that is also filled with dread, as Lily states she does not want to return to Mother Sphere. As outlined earlier in this video, the propaganda of the Mother Sphere doctrine installed the notion of returning one's memories to Mother Sphere as the inevitable next step after an AE human's death. But at this point in the story, Lily and Eve have uncovered the truth of Mother Sphere. Lily now knows Mother Sphere is not her god, and this leaves an unknown fear of what will actually happen to her upon her death. But the finishing animation of the Providence that occurs if Lily escapes, thanks to Iberus's hacking algorithm, is void of this and is much more optimistic. In this scenario, Eve's sister safely hides within the nest. Eve concludes her swords dance and destruction of the Providence with what can only be described as total epicness as she strikes a pose while the resulting destruction of the mech explodes in the background. Lily rushes to hug Eve, and while looking upon the Providence's destruction, Lily makes a comment on Eve's upgraded look, capped off by Eve's hopeful look to the future. With the embodiment of Mother Sphere's calculated control over her AE humans, specifically Eve and Lily, destroyed, the Providence of Mother Sphere is gone. And in the multiple endings that follow, Mother Sphere now confronts the 2 airborne squad members she no longer has direct control over. The final representation of Mother Sphere's control, the Providence, is gone, and Lily and Eve experience their first moments of actual freedom. For the first time ever, they are ready to set forth with their own agency, either to return to the colony to strike back at their creator, or return to Zion as shepherds to the Andro-Eidos humans that live there. Eve now free herself to guide the Zionites into the future. That should do it for this deep dive into the Providence. I'll be going into the lore and encounters of several other bosses of Stellar Blade in future videos. Here's my rough roadmap of the bosses I plan to cover in these videos. But if there's one you want me to jump the gun with, one in particular you want to hear, or anything else you'd like to discuss, drop it in the comments section below. I'll jump down there to keep up the discussion with you. Have a good one, and may your memories live on forever.